back to the Common Guru. I'm Jax. Today we're going to take a look at the next question in our New Year, New Way series. Do you avoid your troubles by keeping busy? Oh, yes! It was very interesting because I really felt that if I kept busy enough and kept doing whatever I would do, that it would eventually make some kind of marketable positive change in my life. But instead, I felt like a hamster in a hamster cage running on the wheel. The faster I ran, I ended up in the same spot. It was very frustrating. Very frustrating. So on my Steam It post, you will see a picture of a gentleman. And it just makes me laugh because he's frantic. He's so frantic and so busy. To me, he looked like he was at the end of his rope because he's tried everything, but he refuses to look at his problems. So if you look at the picture, you'll see him. He's sitting there and he's got a wig that doesn't even look like it's his, and it's silver, and his face looks like he's going to explode. And he's sitting there and he pulled a banana to whoever is like, no, I will not look at my problems. Leave me alone. I'm busy. And that got me to thinking, why do we do that? Why do we run around in circles like a hamster instead of just getting off the wheel? And I know I don't mean to sound flippant about how simple that sounds, but sometimes the hardest things to do are the simplest ones because we just overthink it and overcomplicate it. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an illustration that's not in my written post, but I thought, well, I don't have pictures here to illustrate it as easy as a story does. Something happens in your life that creates quite an emotional response, and you become chained to that belief. And do you know what chains you? Is whatever negative, nasty lie that you believe about yourself. So if something happens where you believe I'm unwanted, click, you're chained. Or you believe that you're unloved, click. I'm powerless, click. I'm useless, click. I'm ugly, click. I'm nobody, click. I'm worthless, click. And ultimately, I'm alone, click. So then we're chained to this belief, for we believe it's true. That's one of the issues, is that somebody else decided to tell you, and please listen to me. Somebody else decided that this is who they thought that you were by some of the actions that they did. That doesn't make it true. It just makes it their actions. But you attached yourself to these awful beliefs by believing in what they were trying to make you believe about yourself, which is a lie. So we keep ourselves so busy in that realm of the chain of where we are that we don't look at the chain. And we don't look at why we're attached and what is keeping us there. We just keep ourselves busy in that small area. And sometimes we look out onto the rest of the yard where we can reach. And if we get all defeated because we can't get there, we get all sad and deflated. But what happens if, like, all of a sudden we're really upset that we're chained and we don't like the fact that we're chained? Then what happens is that we get mean and aggressive. And it's still the same problem, that we're chained. So keeping ourselves busy is like if you're just running circles around, you're just running a path or a moat around the problem. You're just getting it to be deeper and deeper and deeper. And there are basically two issues about why that happens. Number one is the fear of the actual experience, because when you started to believe that lie, there was incredible pain. Because in order to believe a lie like that is not true, you have to experience a deep pain within yourself. So automatically we look at, when we think about the lie, we feel out this big surgence of awful, terrible emotions. But that's because you believe the lie. That's why the pain is there. The lie is what is causing the pain. So first thing we go, it's too big, it's too ugly. Well, but that's because it's a lie. And if you were a child that really believed that you were loved and something awful happened, it had to be pretty awful for you to stop believing that you were loved and lovable. So first off, the feeling that you have response to what happened in the past is your emotional response to the lie that you had to convince yourself of what was going on by the event. Second of all, the biggest fear I find, which is interesting because you think that that response is the worst. The second one I find is if you face it and you unclip the chain, then you have to actually go outside of what you knew. Even if it was super uncomfortable and miserable, the devil you know is always better than the devil you don't. I don't know why that is, but it's true. I had a girlfriend of mine who left a very painful, hurtful relationship. And after she broke the chain of that and looked at the belief of what kept her there, all of a sudden she looked out into the whole world and she goes, oh my gosh, there's so much out there. And oh, what if I'm going to be this? And all then some other chains that came up of hers, some other beliefs that came from being connected to that chain started to surface. And she needed to realize and deal with those. Are they true? No, they are lies. They are lies about yourself that you have decided to believe. Now, sometimes you were convinced by some pretty awful experiences, but you were still convinced it wasn't the truth. So, for me, what I have found the most effective tool with dealing with my problems and to stop running around in circles around them is just to stop. And sometimes, yes, the tears come, and sometimes the fear comes, and sometimes I really don't want to look at what that is, and I don't. But I know that if I don't, then I'm going to continuously run in circles around it and make my life miserable. So I stop and I take a look, and I take a look at it and try and see it from a different perspective and break the chain. Because once you break the chain, then you're free to explore. And then you're free to create a new reality and a new life. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to find new and exciting ways to connect with the Common Guru, take a look down below in our description box. Don't forget to subscribe to our page. Have a great day. Bye.